his poor people that he has led into such suffering, such abject position, just left them, and now probably because with the money he has amassed outside, I suppose he will go and live in joy and plenty. Well, I hope he will enjoy the rest of his life. I hope his conscience will will allow him to rest. God knows. If at all, those who are supporting Ojukwu allow him to really get away with what he has done to his people, to Nigeria, to Africa, then I think they need to examine their conscience.
Have you ever seen a child born with a silver spoon with unlimited access to his father's wealth, yet chose to snub these rights and started life on his own accord? Don't ponder too deeply. It's about the life of one of Nigeria's powerful men who influenced our history, Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu. Emeka Ojukwu was born on November 4, 1933 in Zungeru, northern Nigeria, to Sir Louis Odumegwu Ojukwu, a businessman from Nnewi in southeastern Nigeria. Ojukwu Sr. was into the transport business. He took advantage of the business boom during the Second World War to become one of the richest men in Nigeria. Emeka Ojukwu started the secondary school education at CMS Grammar School, Lagos, at the age of 10 in 1943. He later transferred to King's College, also in Lagos, in 1944, where he was involved in a controversy leading to his brief imprisonment for assaulting a white British colonial teacher who humiliated a black woman. At 13, his father sent him overseas to study in the United Kingdom, first at Epsom College and later at Lincoln College, Oxford University, where he earned a master's degree in history. He then returned to colonial Nigeria in 1956. Ojukwu joined the Nigerian military against the wishes of his father, receiving his commission in March 1958 as the second lieutenant from Eton Hall, as one of the first and few university graduates to join the army as a recruit. Upon completion of further military training, he was assigned to the Army's 5th Battalion in Kano. Emeka Ojukwu's background and education guaranteed his promotion to higher ranks. At that time, the Nigerian military forces had 250 officers and only 15 were Nigerians. After serving in the United Nations Peacekeeping Force in the Congo, under Major General Johnson Thomas Aguiyi-Ironsi, Ojukwu was promoted to Lieutenant Colonel in 1964 and posted to Kano, where he was in charge of the 5th Battalion of the Nigerian Army. He was in Kano when the January 15, 1966 coup was executed. On January 17, 1966, Lieutenant Colonel Odumegwu Ojukwu was appointed military governor of the Eastern region. By May 29, 1966, there were mass killings in northern Nigeria, during which Nigerians of Eastern origin, mostly Igbos, were targeted and killed. This presented problems for Colonel Ojukwu. He did everything in his power to prevent reprisals and even encouraged his people to return to the north, as assurances for their safety had been given by his supposed colleagues up north. On July 29, 1966, a group of officers, including Majors Murtala Mohammed, Theophilus Yakubu Danjuma, and Martin Adamu, led the majority northern soldiers in a mutiny that later developed into a northern counter-coup. The coup failed in the southeastern part of Nigeria, where Ojukwu was the military governor, due to the efforts of the brigade commander and the hesitation of northern officers stationed in the region, partly due to the mutiny leaders in the east being northern, while being surrounded by a large eastern population. The Supreme Commander, General Aguiyi-Ironsi, and his host, Colonel Fajri, were abducted and killed in Ibadan. On acknowledging Ironsi's death, Ojukwu insisted that the military hierarchy be preserved. In that case, the most senior army officer after Ironsi, Brigadier Obafemi Ogundipe, should take over leadership, not Colonel Gowon, the coup plotter's choice. However, the leaders of the counter-coup insisted that Colonel Gowon be made head of state. Both Ojukwu and Gowon were of the same rank in the Nigerian army. Ogundipe could not muster enough force in Lagos to establish his authority, as soldiers available to him were under Joseph Navengarba, who was part of the coup. It was this realization that led Ogundipe to opt out. Thus, Ojuku's insistence could not be enforced by Ogundipe unless the coup plotters agreed, which they did not. The fallout from this led to a standoff between Ojukwu and Gowon, degenerating to a sequence of events that resulted in the Nigerian Civil War, which lasted for 30 months.
We are fighting this war in order to avoid the disintegration of the country into several mini-states, which will become protectorates of foreign powers. Everyone knows what the consequence of such disintegration will be. The tiny states will all recklessly acquire arms from their protectors. There will be continuous war, insecurity of life and property, and much greater sufferings than we have yet experienced.
After 3 years of non-stop fighting and starvation, a hole did appear in the Biafran front lines, and this was exploited by the Nigerian military. As it became obvious that all was lost, Ojukwu was convinced to leave the country to avoid a certain execution. On January 9, 1970, the Biafran leader handed over power to his second-in-command, Major General Philippe Effiong, and left for Côte d'Ivoire, where President Felix Houphouët-Boigny, who had recognized Biafra on May 14, 1968, granted him political asylum.
Why do you think Ojukwu left Biafra? Was it because he was a coward? Was it because he felt that he stood in the way of a settlement?
Well, your guess is as good as mine. The foreign press that seem to know him better than we do, than I do, seem to give him all sort of excellent quality, so much above in fact than the rest of us. Ojukwu, the gallant chap who said, "I will fight to the last man, and I will be the last one, that will fall." What a pity! How are the mighty fallen, and in such a cowardly way. If he has done a Hitler, probably we could have thought, he's at least a man of courage. He didn't do a Hitler. Hitler took the poison, died, and ordered his body to be burned up. At least because he had, he knew what he has done. Ojukwu ran away and left these poor people that he has led into such, suffering, such abject position. Just left them, and now probably because with the money he has amassed outside, I suppose he will go and live in joy and plenty. Well, I hope he will enjoy the rest of his life. I hope his conscience will will allow him to rest. God knows. If at all, those who are supporting Ojukwu allow him to really get away with what he has done to his people, to Nigeria, to Africa, then I think they need to examine their conscience.
After 13 years in exile, the federal government of Nigeria under President Shehu Aliyu Usman Shagari granted an official pardon to Ojukwu and opened the road for a triumphant return in 1982.
6 months of intense study, and I am ready and equipped to share with you my preliminary findings. That I intend to contribute my quota to the development and progress of this great land of ours.
Ojukwu could speak Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba, English, French, and Latin fluently. Interestingly, during the Civil War, he always slept with his boots on. On November 26, 2011, Ikemba Odumegwu Ojukwu died in the United Kingdom after a brief illness. He was 78.
The Firm, streaming now for free, only on STV Player.
What can you say about Ojukwu? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, don't hesitate to like and share it with your friends. Also, don't miss our next video on why Ojukwu declared the Republic of Biafra in 1967.